How you doing, everybody? So by now, most of you know I posted my Understanding Revelation message. And I told you that I'm going to be following it up with a breakdown of that message and the individual parts. Now, most people, when they look at Revelation, some people correct me with that. It's the same thing. I'm talking about Revelation. Sometimes I accidentally add the S to it. People get a little anal about that. But Revelation. So here's the thing. Traditionally, when you look at Revelation, they see 3 judgments. Traditionally, they see a time of 7 years that is divided into 2 parts. The first is the first 3.5 years, and they think traditionally the second half is the Great Tribulation. Now, in my messages, my Understanding Revelation message, we got into why that's not the case. It's actually broken into 3 parts biblically. The first part is actually it's 4 parts. It's first part is the beginning of the last days, which we are told in Hebrews 1:1 begins with the first coming of Christ. And then we get into the second part, which is the birth pains in the first 3.5 years of the last 7 years, the last week of Daniel. And then the third part is the Great Tribulation. But the fourth part is the day of the Lord. And the Bible is clear with this, and why no one, all these big churches, I listen to all of them. I love listening to Mr. McGee. He's passed. I love listening to Jeffress and Jeremiah. I like listening to I really miss, now he wasn't that big, but he was on social media, and he was a very good preacher. And through him, I'd hear my father's voice, and that was Danny Jones. And they all are based on the original, the traditional vision of this. And it's kind of wrong in many ways. And the Bible tells us that. Number one, there's a big misunderstanding with in chapter 7 with the Jewish, the 12,000. 1,200 from each tribe. Sorry, I just arrived at work. So the big misunderstanding with that is that they're priests. And that's not the case. What they are is the saved. When you look at chapter 7 in Revelations, it talks about all those who are saved. It talks about the regular people. It talks about followers. It talks about the Jewish people. And it talks about a time, people think it speaks of the judgment, but it's not. It speaks of the time of judgment. Just like the first 3.5 years is a time is the rise of Babylon. Babylon's mentioned repeatedly through Revelation. Sorry. Ever since I gained a little bit of weight back, my breathing's a little hard. I get the hiccups and stuff. And we're told who the Babylon is. Babylon is all the great merchants of the world. They're gathered together to try to rule over the world. In the beginning, it says that they rule over the beast. That they ride him. The harlot rides the beast. Okay? Now, then Christ comes and we are taken. Everybody thinks there's a pre-rapture or post-rapture or mid-rapture. There's nothing of the kind. Okay? We come at the very end of the Great Tribulation. Christ comes. There's the gathering described in detail in 14 and in Daniel. We think that First Thessalonians or Second Thessalonians, it says, the evil one won't be revealed until the one restraining is taken out of the way. Now, the church is very misunderstood about that, and I was for a long time too, but they believe that's the Holy Spirit. It's not the case. The Holy Spirit is with us until Christ returns to come get us. Who is taken out of the way is the protection of Michael. Okay? And why is he taken out of the way? Because in the beginning of the tribulation, the reason why things get so bad here is without Michael and his angels, evil becomes unrestricted. And man just goes nuts. And the evil just goes, it's everywhere. Just like the time before Noah and the flood. And this is what Jesus tells us. It'll be like the days of Noah. And the one thing that he's referring to is that evil was so bad that was in every man's evil thought. Well, you look at people today. Even if they think they're good, they cheat, they're nasty to each other, doing bad things. Women, they're not even happy unless they represent themselves as harlots. Every other word with a woman is F this or F that, and they boast on it. They thrive in it. It's a lifestyle for them. They light up like a Christmas tree. All bright. Listen to any woman on social media, she'll try to sound, righteous with, I thank God because He gave me all this stuff. Well, God didn't give him that. You can't follow God half the time and Him reward you. They're getting all their rewards from the king of the world, Satan. They just don't know it. And they don't care, really. Honestly, just like with any other thing in life here, they don't really care where it comes from, as long as they get it. Now, These people, they'll be here for the wrath of God, but the people of God won't be. When the end of the Great Tribulation comes before the day of the Lord, the dead and the undead will be gathered. And this is what God tells us over and over again in Jesus. Prepare yourself for tribulation. He even tells you there's going to be great tribulation. He even tells you some people are going to be arrested even unto death. Be faithful even unto death, and your rewards will be in heaven. Do you think he would tell you that unless he meant it? If he didn't mean it? But Christians, they want to believe everything. When you look at tribulation is always expressed as pressure from man and judgment of man. What man's doing to you. But when you hear wrath, that always speaks of God. That's why when God and Jesus speak of tribulation, we're involved in that because we're in it. And he promises, Jesus promises us, in our lives there will be great tribulation. People don't want to hear that. They want to hear, well, we'll be spared all that. Well, we're not. We're only spared the wrath of God. And that comes in the two judgments that come after we're removed. That's the day of the Lord, the great and glorious day of the Lord. And people don't want to hear that. But that's the truth. So here's the day. What's going to happen? And my messages are going to go in detail about all this. But what's going to happen? You're going to have all these people who don't believe that we're in the tribulation. They're not going to believe that Babylon's ruling the world. They're going to believe what they want to. It says in these days, they'll listen to whoever will tell them what they want to hear because they have itchy ears. That's right. So, I'll be going into detail. The seals, the first part of Revelation, starting with the first coming of Christ, the birth pains, as we enter into the second phase of Revelation, the rise of Babylon. We'll see the third part of Revelation when the Antichrist takes over. And people, if you're looking around in the world right now, is the world not trying to rule? Is the harlot not trying to force the Antichrist into making decisions for them? They're threatening nuclear war. They're threatening separation. They're threatening everything. But they can't control the beast. The beast is doing what he wants to do. It's driving them crazy. And we are coming up. We are a year into the last 7 years. And people aren't going to see that. There is going to be a time, a short time, where we're told by God, what do we do when he's revealed? And that's where to run. Don't play on your cell phone. Don't go back for a coat. Don't go back for your clothes. If you're up on the roof, run. Okay? And he tells you, go to the mountains. Go to the places that they're going to have a hard time finding you. It means we're going to be living like the 1800s on the land, like old frontiersmen. People aren't prepared for that. Can you see people today trying to live like that? I have a hard time dealing with some of that stuff. I'm right now gathering straws, water straws, books, paperback books, because I know at one point I'm going to have to leave my phone and everything behind. I'm looking for paperback books on how to eat what's natural on the earth, what grows. I'm looking for ways that I can survive for 3 or 4 years until Christ comes. After that, we're good. We just have to get by till then. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, people. It's going to be really, really hard. And I'm going to be going into that in these 4 messages. All right. Talk to you later.